Welcome back everyone, and if you are new here, hi, I'm Nicola Bros, and this channel is just a huge hodgepodge. So welcome to my hodgepodge. Today's DIY was supposed to be dark academia, and of course the title suggests otherwise. However, I'm not entirely clear on what dark academia is versus light academia, and how is dark academia different than gothic design. There's a lot of things that I'm still kind of unclear about. I know that light academia kind of goes for more beige tones and more neutral tones, and this is definitely more neutral with the green that I chose and with the gold. However, there are some touches that I made that kind of gave it more of, I guess, a spooky edge. I'm not too sure how to describe it. It's definitely not dark academia though, because dark academia is like its own philosophy even. The same with light academia, where dark academia tends to be more gothic. It tends to be associated with like death and with like thoughts of mortality, whereas light academia is the opposite, of course, where it's more joyous and it focuses on happier things while also being a bit like goth, I guess, like pastel goth, if you will. And that's something that I've always kind of leaned more toward, just as an individual. So I guess maybe that's why it ended up turning out to be light academia, even though I had dark academia in mind first. So enjoy the rest of this video. Let's get you all fixed up there. For today's DIY, I am doing a project that I've actually been wanting to do for, well, since I got the damn thing, which was 2 years ago, a year ago. I'm bad with time. It is this, I know the word of this wood. It's basically a really soft wood. It's really easy to carve. It's very cheap, and this is what we're working with. It is real wood. It's just insanely soft, and it absorbs paint and stains like a sponge. I was jiving with the natural look for a long time. It's not really going with the whole vibe. It kind of is because the IKEA Malm is that stark white, but I do want to DIY that sometime in the near future, hopefully, and get that to match the painted wardrobe that is next to it. And I just want that whole little corner to feel a lot more intentional design-wise. So today we are going to dark academia this little jewelry box up a hell of a lot more Victorian-esque and not so medieval-esque. I feel like I learned a lot design-wise with that book cover, and no harm, no foul, because it is literally the cheapest thing I think I've ever made with my own two hands. This is also very, very cheap. I think it was something like 1,500. You can get jewelry boxes like this at any kind of hobby store here in Budapest, and they're super cheap. So this is a steal of a deal in terms of DIY. Now to talk materials, I have leftover ferro and ball paint. This is in the shade Estate Eggshell, and it's a grayish green. I want to say brown, but that is not the right color, Nicole. Come on, get with the program. It is a water-based paint. It is a mineral paint, and it is very, very safe to use in, you know, competition with latex and acrylic and all that jazz. I will be darkening this up with some black acrylic, like just a small amount of black acrylic, maybe even a bit of gray as I go along. I will be doing some test splotches here on the rest of the Aldi bag that I have left over. So my plan is kinda, sorta, to make the knob and this little flowery thing that we got going on here to be gold. So I will also be using that gold that I also used on the book. And this is by Stuart Semple. He's very famous for that blackest black paint, and he makes this really, really cool non-toxic gold paint. And he also has really cool mirror paint, and I don't know if I'm brave enough to do this, but I kind of want to like age this plexiglass to look like aged, like an aged mirror or aged glass. I think we'll get to that when we get to it, and I'll leave it out of my mind for now and just focus on the actual entirety of the piece and leave that for last if I muster up enough courage to do so. So I do not like this. I really don't like how this looks. It obviously looks like I speckled it on there and I need to restart, but that's okay. Okay, so what I decided to do is just completely cover up the little window panels with the mirror paint, and it's going to take quite a few coats to get it to really look like a mirror. And of course it won't look exactly like a mirror because you'll be able to see the brush strokes and all that stuff, but I'm hoping that this will make it look a bit better. And I am kind of hesitant to try to like age it with some black acrylic. I am gonna try to give it a go and see if that will work or not. So wish me luck, guys. This is what I have working with right now. So this is the whole setup, and as you can see, there is a mirror-like quality to it, and you can still see like where I did the original stippling with the mirror and the black, but I feel like that gives it even more of like an old kind of mirror texture. And yeah, I think it looks pretty unique. However, I do think it is missing something. It really is missing something. And I don't know if Danny gave me the idea at first to put like a little painted bat in the middle, but I feel like if I put a little bat on there, then I would have to really darken up the whole thing. That's just how I feel about it. And so instead he said, well, why don't you put like some kind of like painted border of some sort around the edges. And I think that would really give it kind of a Victorian glow up. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna research some Victorian kind of like, you know, embroidery patterns, or like just like really small detailed patterns that I can make a sort of what's it called, stencil out of it. Thank you all so much for watching. Yes, I'm doing this vlog style on my phone because once again my camera overheated. Like always, I hope you're happy. I in particular am fairly happy with this. It's another one of my favorite DIYs that I've ever done. And I would really love if you let me know what you think about this DIY. What would you change about it? And if you want to make something similar to this, or make this exact same thing even, who knows, I would love to see it. So follow me on Instagram at Beauty in the Brains. Beauty in the Brains or Netawool. Beauty in the Brains is more of my spooky blog setup, Instagram setup, and Netawool is more of my slow living home crochet type of things. This one is definitely going under the category of beauty in the brain, so I just wanted to clear that up for any of you. Like I said at the beginning of this video, this is a hodgepodge channel, and I'm still not entirely sure what I'm going to be doing with this channel. I'm just kind of making videos that I want to make and uploading them. Aren't we all? Thank you for watching. See you in the next one.